Call to order, Town of North Branford, special meeting of the Water Pollution Control Authority and regular WPCA and Town Council meeting, Tuesday, September 19th, 2023 at 7:05 p.m. We'll start with a salute to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. Ms. Daly, if you would take roll call, please.
Councilor Palladino.
Present.
Councilor Gold.
Here.
Councilor Eagleson.
Here.
Councilor Mace.
Here.
Councilor Paligia.
Here.
Councilor Diamond.
Here.
Councilor Angeloni.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Zampano.
Yes.
And Mayor McMillan.
Present. Okay. Community events and presentations. Are there any? Seeing none, we'll move on. I'll accept item 3, minutes of the previous meeting. Item A, September 5th, 2023, WPCA and Town Council meeting. I'll
So moved. Second.
All right, motion by Councilor Angeloni, seconded by Councilor Diamond. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained? Okay, thank you. On to the Water Pollution Control Authority agenda. Item 4, correspondence, citizen statements and petitions. Are there any? Seeing none, we'll move on. On to item 5, unfinished business. There is none. On to item 6, new business discussion and action. Item A, fiscal year 23-2024 sewer works operational fund budget, capital budget, and user fee. Sub-item, adoption of operation budget and use fee.
We have to have the public hearing
Yeah,
first.
we do have to, well, yeah,
At
7:15 we do.
But,
So is this more than a,
well, Victor, are you presenting under A?
I think it'd probably be best to.
Open?
To just go on.
Do it.
Present under the public hearing and then.
you want to present under the vote? Can we open
Yeah,
early?
or else-
No.
or else-
No.
You have to wait to
Has to be at
7:15.
7:15?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then.
And that's kind of our
Anybody
thinking,
jokes?
doing it 7:15 because it's earlier than it usually is, but it wasn't
Yeah.
quite early enough.
Yeah, we should push it a
We'll do
little bit, right?
7:10 next time.
Okay. All right, well, Mike, do you have any jokes or do you want to do a little skit or something? Maybe a song for the group?
I left my puppet show at home. so-
Okay. All right. Well, let's see, we really can't move forward.
Sure, why can't we do 10?
The item,
Those are quick.
item 10. Oh, Bruce is in rare form tonight. I like it. Okay, yeah, we can probably skip up to 10, right? Okay, so we're gonna skip to item 10, which is resignations and appointments. We're gonna start with A, resignation of Edmund Prunier, Democrat from the Board of Fire Commissions as a regular member. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Mr. Prunier for his exemplary service while chairman of that board. He did a wonderful job and we thank him for his time there. Being that there is no further action, I wanted to make sure.
I just also like to make a comment. I think
Please.
Ed Prunier was a wonderful asset to the Fire Commission.
Likewise.
I think he spent a lot of time and energy. He had a knowledge base that a lot of people don't have. He worked hard. He was always out and about doing the right thing. I'm really sad to see that he's resigning.
Likewise, so wealth of knowledge, and I hope he comes back and wants to join in the fun again. So, thanks. I wish him well. All right, anyone else like to speak on behalf? Okay, we're gonna item B, appointment of Paul Marino, Republican, to the Planning and Zoning as an alternate member replacing Barry Ponder, term to expire 5/31/2025. The resume is attached.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Angeloni. Seconded by Councilor. I can't talk tonight, hon, you know. Excuse me. I always do one of your voices.
Trying to get that.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained? Okay, where are we?
6 minutes.
6 minutes, man, we did that too quick. We're on fire tonight, okay. Let's see, what can we work through here? Can we open up 12 and come back to it? Or is that?
I don't see why not.
You can do 11.
I don't see a problem with that. You can, doing a motion to go out of order on the agenda.
We can do a motion. I'll accept the motion to go out of the order of the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Motion by Councilor Angeloni, seconded by Deputy Mayor Zampano. On to item 12, new business discussion action. Item A, ARPA funds for police department and public works. That's probably gonna take a little longer than,
It's okay, we can start the public hearing after 7:15.
okay. So item A, ARPA funding in public department, police department and public works electrical upgrades, item A. All right, if you would be so.
Sure. So, as the council's aware, we're currently utilizing a rental generator at the PD for $3,000 a month due to the failure of the generator on site. Last meeting of the Finance Subcommittee, it was recommended to move this item to the full council for action, obtaining a generator at Public Works and a backup portable generator through ARPA funding. I'd note that the generator intended for the Public Works is available through a state contractor, but the portable is not. And at this, as time is of the essence, and in reviewing this with our purchasing assistant, Michael Fumiati, you have a supplemental memorandum in your folders this evening, which would authorize our purchasing agent to compose bid specifications and go out to bid for this portable generator with the intention of having a bid ready for your acceptance at your October 3rd meeting. If you choose not to accelerate this with the provided motion, you would receive bid specs to approve at the October 3rd meeting, and we would not be able to go out to bid until the council approved it, and you would have the bid to approve October 17th. Public Works Director Fran Marola is here to answer any questions you might have relative to the specs on the generator proposed and included in your packets.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Fran?
No, when are we gonna move this?
When we're gonna move it?
Yeah. Is it gonna be in October or now?
Well, we can approve tonight for the ARPA
Yeah, I
funding.
think we did that at the Finance Subcommittee meeting.
Well,
we talked about it, but
we
can't
talked
do
to
that till
bringing
you're
it to
here.
the council so
Yeah.
the council could vote on it, because we can't decide as a finance
We
subcommittee.
can make a suggestion to bring it to council, and then council ultimately makes the decision.
But what Mike just talked about was the bid specs for the portable generator, which if there is a motion to move that forward so that the purchasing agent could write the bid specs tomorrow and get the bid out on the street.
Correct.
And then they would have the bid opening prior to our council meeting on October 3rd so that he would present the bid results and we could move on it at that point in time.
In those bid specs, because we talked about this generator is supposed to be able to be used at different buildings, and that's the one we want. So it could be used here, police station, one of the other buildings.
The NBIS, the
Yep.
Tilcon Tower,
Yep.
it could be a backup to Franny, it could be a backup to the new police station.
There's a litany of uses.
I know Franny has been working on this, and so that the bid specs can all be put together in regards to the portable generator. And also, the other part of this is Franny needs a generator for his complex, because his is out. And also, this includes new wiring configuration on his property because of the new building and everything else. So the total cost of the ARPA funding for both projects together is at $630,000. That's what is presented in our packet. So if anyone has any questions in regards to this whole project, Franny's here. He's been working on it extensively as far as what it includes, what can happen with it.
And how much is left in the ARPA funds?
About
Right.
1.1.
No,
Okay.
1.7.
Well, after that, I'm talking about.
Oh, after, if
No,
we,
no, I said, how much do we have?
right now, we
Oh,
have
1.7.
approximately 1.7.
All right. All right.
Franny, does this include that piece that burned out on you guys at the Public Works there?
On my job, it's a whole new transfer switch. It's a whole new system, new power. We were talking about Wallingford, so we're taking my old service down from 1962, and it's all getting upgraded.
So this is all included in what this plan?
Yeah, so then we're putting a new generator in, a whole new switching gear, and the whole place will be generated then.
And this generator basically you just pull up to any of our locations, just
No,
plug it in?
my generator is my permanent one. Mine's on a Sourcewell bid, but just to let you know, with all the stuff we've been going through, Sourcewell, my generator is gonna take like 12 weeks to get, but there's no generators around. So when we asked about the portable generator, they're like 92 weeks out. if they even get them.
Am I correct in
So there's two
understanding?
different things here. One's a permanent generator and the other one's the mobile generator.
92 weeks?
90, yeah.
Yeah,
90 weeks?
For the portable.
so for the
For the
portable.
portable one.
Am I correct in understanding that we have a portable one that we're renting currently, and it's already been used 3 times in the time period that we've rented it?
Correct.
So it's something that is being utilized for
We talked
police
about this for
operation.
years and years, and it actually happened, and then it happened within 2 weeks of each other
Yeah.
that
So
the PD
what's,
lost power.
what's the 600,000?
Is that
Entail.
include both generators,
Oh,
your
it's one
permanent
at a time.
and also?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
But
Yes.
is this before you actually put it out to bid?
All
So
things.
these prices
plus the
change?
wiring.
I'm sorry, say that again?
In other words, is this prior to sending it out for bid, so could the prices change?
Mine is a source well bid, so
Oh,
mine's
okay.
all done, so it's all, my generator, and then they have a contractor that installs it and all the wiring. And then there's, the other part of my project is putting a whole new service in and upgrading the 1962 stuff. So we can,
So the size of the portable generator?
which one? The
Well,
portable?
not your permanent one.
Yeah.
Because so this is for 2 generators.
Correct.
Because we're doing a permanent generator for the
Correct.
public works.
Yes,
And then there's a portable generator
yes,
for
Town use.
town use.
yes,
So the size of the portable generator that's going to be in the bid
yes.
is?
150 kW.
Thank you.
So, and that price also includes all this, all
For the hookups for all the
the
buildings.
hookups for here. This is a
Right.
bigger one. The intermediate school is a little bit different. It's a kind of a bigger project than we were thinking, but it's doable. The PD is having their plug, their secondary plug put in. So they're gonna have a generator, then they're gonna have a secondary backup.
Right, but the PD, that, we shouldn't have to, that's already, is that part of the new police?
So their hookup's gonna be part of it. They're putting a secondary hookup in, but this generator, so let's say their generator goes down.
Right.
We could go over there and
Then
plug
plug
this
it
one
in. So,
We built that as a specs of the new building already.
thank you. That was my question.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Frank, Jim, what electrical service do you guys have? The same?
As far, no, he has UI and I have Wallingford. Is that what you're talking about?
So currently you have to
Yes.
When you go across the street, huh?
I'll be on Wallingford.
The new generator would be at Public Works, and then the portable generator would be housed at currently the old police station, and then will be housed later at
It'll
the
be
new.
housed at Public Works.
Oh, you'll house it at Public Works as well, but it'll be utilized right now for the backup.
No, I thought Fran, you just said that the police station has a generator. If
Yes.
it goes down, then they would use the portable generator. Did I hear that correct?
Correct.
So is there a new generator in the plan for the new police
Yes.
department?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's already in there.
A new generator?
But this, but
Okay.
if something happened to that,
Right.
this portable could be the backup.
No, I just wanted to
It
make
goes
sure I
back-
understood.
It goes back 10 years. We've been
Yeah.
trying to put this plug in their place
Yeah.
for 10 years, and it never happened. So when we went to the new one, we said, put a plug in, and then if there's a problem, we can service it.
Now, in the portable generator,
Yes.
is is whatever we're looking at limited for what we need, or is have exactly what we need and more, or is it limited, meaning we're only gonna get this much out of it?
No, that generator should run everything full.
I'm just asking that, just so we don't.
So actually, the whole town hall would be able to, so if we have a power outage, and it's a hurricane, and everybody's running, the generator would come down here so they could run town
It's
hall.
150 kilowatts. It's big. It's big.
Yeah, I know, I'm just,
Yeah,
that doesn't mean anything.
it should run every place.
1.1 gigawatts.
1.1 gigawatts,
Yeah.
that's, you know,
It's
that's
gonna have a
what we need to
flux
get to 88
capacitor
miles an hour.
That's a bolt of lightning.
The bolt of lightning, yeah. Yeah, new flux capacitor with ARPA, approved. All right, there we go.
We even called our builders to see if our new generator for our new building would be available earlier, but it's not coming until late February at best case scenario. Just so you have the knowledge of what.
So Franny, basically after we're done, the police station's gonna have, that's part of the whole project, they're gonna have their generator.
A new-
You're gonna have your generator.
Correct.
Brand new, and then we're gonna have this portable generator that could go to any location, these key locations that we have in town, and that'll be the backup for you guys and for the other town hall and
It'll
everything
back
else.
up the intermediate school for the EOC. That's what that generator is for. It doesn't do the whole school, but it'll do the EOC. At least, it might not power every single thing that the EOC has, but at least it can stay open.
Yeah.
The PD, it'll generate power for the town hall. The new antenna that we just put up at Tilcon, it'll be a backup for up there. It'll be a backup for me. And what am I missing? There's one more, I thought.
Well, it can be used on the Auger Field for any town events also.
We would do, we gotta use it to exercise it, because they shouldn't just sit around.
No, there should be.
So if your new one was to go out, this one could be the backup for you and for the police station. So you got
Absolutely.
double.
Yep.
That's good. Thank
Well,
you.
it's even important to recognize you're setting up the infrastructure, so even if you needed multiple generators, you now have a source to plug those in. So it's not just the generator, you're outfitting your buildings to be able to operate 24/7, so.
So that's all the switching gear and all that stuff.
The switching gear, installing it, all of that is included in this pricing
Correct.
in here.
Yep.
Okay.
It still has to go out to bid, though.
Oh, is that?
That's, so.
We only have to
this
go out
is
to bid for the portable generator.
For the portable generator, so to $660,000.
Yep.
That, for the, that, so is there bids for all this yet?
I'm on the Sourcewell bid, so my bid is done. It's $400,000 with all the work that has to be done there. We couldn't get one from the same source because there's none of them out there. The portable
Right.
generators are hard to get. So that's
So for
$92,000.
$260,000, this is to outfit all the buildings and the portable generator, is basically what you're saying. An additional, it's $400,000 for your generator.
$230,000
For the public
to do the
works.
rest, yep.
It's $260,000.
230.
230, excuse me, thank you. $230,000 for the portable generator, 100 kilowatts, and also the outfitting of all the buildings.
All the ones that need it, yes.
So this has all been bid on already? Like these numbers are, like
His bid
were
is
these numbers bid, were these numbers all bid on?
Well,
Not the
he's on
230.
state contract, so it's all worked out. The $400,000 for Franny, his generator and all of that work is all done already because it's state contract.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to go out to bid on there. So that's where he got those numbers from, because he doesn't have to go out to bid, it's state contract. Sourcewell is a state contract. That's who he's been working with.
So I take it that it has to be two separate bids then, because he doesn't have to go out to bid. I mean,
Correct.
two separate motions, I mean. He doesn't have to go out to bid, but for the mobile one, it has to go out to bid, am I correct?
Well, so there would be one motion to approve the ARPA funding.
Okay,
So if that passes, then we have to amend the agenda to add for the bid, going out to bid for the portable generator.
Correct.
So that would go after the motion is made and voted on for that.
All right, so that said, do we have a motion?
Hang on one second. Franny, just one thing that's not clear, I apologize, but,
Yeah, but that's for the portable.
so we have to make a bid for the generator,
The portable
the
generator.
portable generator. I get all the work at your facility is source bid. What about the, because I don't think when you first went out for that, it included all the plugs in the additional buildings, did it?
What's that? The
Like-
portable?
Like the plug, the plug that you want to put in here, and any other plugs?
I'm gonna use my contractor's bid for the rest of it.
Okay, all right, that was my question.
Yeah.
So you have that covered already,
Right.
that, we don't need a separate bid for that?
Right, no.
Okay.
And my project all goes through Sourcewell. That's including the installation, the contractor, all that.
Okay.
We would have went through Sourcewell if we could get a generator, but we can't.
We do. What about the high school?
They have a generator.
They have generator.
Yeah.
As part of the new high school.
This
Right. What about the-
wouldn't back that up.
Even a portion of it?
Well, it's, I don't think it's wired for
So
partial.
we're not wiring the high school
No.
for this at all?
No. The high school's not our EOS,
It's not our shelter.
Not a shelter.
Are only doing the intermediate school just
For the
because it's a
shelter.
shelter.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to approve $630,000 ARPA funding for the portable generator and public works electrical upgrades.
second.
All right, motion by Counselor Angeloni, seconded by Counselor Mace. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add item 12K. Authorization of bid specification for portable generator.
Second.
All right, motion by Counselor Angeloni, seconded by Counselor Mace. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay, that passes. We are going to pause now for
Could I just correct the record? There was a motion to amend the agenda to add that
Yeah.
item K, and then
Yeah.
you're going to vote on the actual item to approve the bid specification?
No, that was just to
Oh,
add
sorry.
it to the agenda.
I bet you wish Brian was here.
No, you're fine, Chris.
I'll try not to talk. We like having you, Chris. We like having you. All right, now we're gonna pause for our previously scheduled public hearing. So it's 7:26, and we're pausing for the public hearing for the sewer works budget and proposed sewer use fees, 2023, 2024 fiscal year. There's a statement, if someone would be so kind to read it for me.
All right, so there's a legal notice that was published in the Totucket Times on September 1st. Notice of public hearing sewer use charge, the North Branford WPCA pursuant to section 7-255 of the Connecticut General Statutes will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, September 19th, 2023 at 7:15 p.m. at the Town Hall, Town Council Chambers, 909 Foxen Road, North Branford, for the purpose of establishing a proposed sewer user fee for the 2023-24 fiscal year. The proposed charge is $500 per unit, and a copy of the proposed charge is on file in the town clerk's office and is available for inspection by the public, dated in North Branford, Connecticut, this first day of September 2023, WPCA, Town of North Branford.
All right, public hearing is now open. Richard, if you'd like to come up and apprise us with your knowledge.
Good evening, yes, sure. So the 7-page operating budget that you should have in your packet would be the Sewer Works Operating Fund, the budget. I think the question that we mostly get to start with is what the user fee is going to be. We're proposing that it remain unchanged at $500 per unit. We have an estimated number of units at 2,687 units, which would be billed out at that. Our beginning unassigned fund balance is at $730,000 plus dollars. Our revenues on this first page, again, our biggest revenue there, again, is the sewer user fee being sent out to those 2,687 units. We have the total estimated revenue shown there at 1.5 million. Following down to our total expenditures at 1.7 million, a little bit higher than 1.7 million. The bulk of that comes from the expenses to send our sewage out to the other towns that treat our sewage, being North Haven, Branford, and East Haven, or the Greater New Haven Water Pollution Control Authority. Moving on, our ending unassigned fund balance would be at $483,000. You can see that this is down a bit from last year. We just have a case here where our user fee going out is a little bit less than our expenditures. So it's without raising the user fee, we feel that $483,000 is still a good cushion for us if there's any problems to the system where we'd have to do any emergency expenses. Following on to page 2 is really probably out of this packet, this is really the summation page of everything, I think. About halfway down, you see other expenses, and I just want to highlight those water sewer charges that we get from Branford, North Haven, and again, the Greater New Haven WPCA being the bulk of our expenses, those intermunicipal sewer treatment costs. And our other contractual cost down there is at $351,000. That's the fee for our sewer service company in Veolia for operation and maintenance and management of the system, and also for a short list of some upgrades to the system that I have proposed to kind of keep our system in good shape. And also I have a I&I study for water infiltration into the, I think this is an important one to mention, into the White Hollow section, where we're noticing that when groundwater is up and it rains, we're getting an influx of flows from that system, and basically the users are paying for those flows to get treated by North Haven. So in essence, we want to run a study on that system to see if we can track down where those groundwater flows are getting into the system, and then see if we can make repairs to those. So I do have that proposal in those other contractual items that I'd like to pursue this year. Moving on to the capital budget, I did leave a separate sheet out to the left of your packets this evening. Wasn't included in your original packet, but it's there. So we're basically flat on this, showing a beginning balance of 104,000 and an ending balance of 104,000 change. What really runs this is the assessments. There we have them listed at around $10,000. It's a guess how many people are going to hook up to the system each year, but we haven't really had many connections, so it's really a number that we took a low guess on it this year. If there's some projects that come through that propose some more connections, then we'll have those special connection fees that would come in, which are the assessments. And emergency capital expenditures, I don't think we're anticipating any, knock on wood, major problems to the system, so that kind of balanced that capital budget out. That's all I have for the public hearing portion.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Any public statement? Seeing none, we can close out public hearing. Okay. You have a motion to close?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion by Councilor Mace, seconded by Councilor Abelson. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Aye, opposed? Okay, looks like it passes, 733, out of public hearing. Okay, on to the prior Water Pollution Control Authority agenda. We left off at item 6, new business discussion and action. Item A, fiscal year 2023-2024, Sewer Works Operational Fund Budget, Capital Budget, and User Fee. Item I, adoption of Operation Budget and User Fee.
I'd like to make a motion, be it resolved that the North Branford WPCA, acting in its capacity as the sewer authority for the town of North Branford, hereby adopts the attached sewer budget and establishes a sewer fee of $500 per unit for the 2023-24 fiscal year.
Second.
All right, motion by Councilor Goni, seconded by Councilor Goad. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. On to item subset 2, adoption and capital budget, I'm sorry.
So I'd like to make a motion, let's get it up here. Be it resolved that the North Branford WPCA, acting in its capacity as the sewer authority for the town of North Branford, hereby adopts the attached sewer capital budget for the 2023-24 fiscal year.
Okay.
Second.
A motion by Councilor Zoni, seconded by Councilor Goad. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. We are moving on back to the regular town council meeting. Item 7, reports of committees, boards, and commissions. Item A, Economic Development Commission, please.
Next meeting is Monday, October 2nd.
Okay, 10-2. All right, item B, Parks and Recreation, please.
Next meeting is Tuesday, September 26th.
Okay. Item, or C, Police Commission.
Okay, as usual, I have a lot to say here. First of all, one of the things discussed at the police commission meeting was the beam signing. but I had discussions this afternoon with the chief. He also called Newfield. It looks like the best option in terms of the problem with the beam signing, and the chief is willing to do this, to get a big piece of plastic that would fit inside that beam, take that plastic, get everybody together someday, put it on a table so everybody can sign again, then they put that piece of plastic back up over that section of the beam, and then spray it so that whatever the signatures are would stay. Even those of us that sign maybe with a permanent marker, it's already washing off. So it would be very expensive. Newfield would be really, it would cost us a lot of money to have them take the beam down at this point, because it's all, you know,
Can they talk about tacking, like welding in a?
Well, no, in other words, what the chief, and he's willing to look into it. He would get a piece of plastic that would be the size that would fit into that current beam. He you know, get a date when everybody could come and sign, and then he would have it sprayed and then have it adhered.
And they would just put it over the top.
Whatever works.
He said that's really the only good option.
It's not a change order, is it?
Yeah.
So is everybody,
think
I mean, I have
that's
to get back, is everybody okay with that at this point?
I'm fine with that. I think it's.
I mean,
let's move
it's
on.
really, it would
So
be
you're gonna
foolish for us
sign a
to.
piece of plastic?
Pardon?
You're gonna sign a piece of plastic?
Well, you would be able to sign the plastic with those,
Okay, no, I'm just asking.
Well, this would also give those that couldn't make that actual
Right,
signing the opportunity, because if it's just a piece of plastic, we don't all have to be there on the same day. It's like,
Right.
we would just go to the police station when you had chance during a certain time frame and sign it, and then they would put it up, is my guess.
I mean, he talked to Newfield twice this afternoon for me. I mean, he's really tried to help us out here.
I think
so.
that's perfectly fine.
So
I
is
think
it-
we can move on with that. Let's
Okay,
move on.
whatever, yeah.
That should be fine.
Okay, a couple other things, and actually the deputy chief is here, and I'd rather have him talk about it, about what's happening with the autism awareness, what's happened. I think you should talk about that.
Oh, sure. A couple of Fridays ago, myself, the founder of the nonprofit, Deputy Chief Dominguez from Watertown, and I'm sorry, a sergeant from Bethany, I don't remember his name, I apologize. We got invited up to the state capitol to meet with Senator Berthel, Senator Seminello, am I pronouncing that right?
She's a new one, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I pronounced that wrong too. And then Senator Ciccarello to discuss the project. All have key factions of being ranking members, and whether it's law enforcement, health and human services, or appropriations, which is always key. And we had sat down, we had a great discussion, and it looks like they want to bring our program as a state model policy, state model program for law enforcement. There's public acts that came out that require all of emergency services, including law enforcement, to actually adopt the things that we had already created. So our next step is meeting with 3 commissioners, and then the governor, from what I'm being told, is the next step going forward for that project. So kind of exciting coming from a small town from North
I
Branford.
think it's wonderful that North Branford becomes the model.
And Austin PD in Texas, which is a 1,500-man department, is also just signed on as a program. So the word somehow got down to Texas. But,
That's really cool.
So taking off.
So I think we need to thank the resident, and I forgot.
Ashley McLean.
Ashley
Yep.
McLean for bringing this forward and
Yeah.
for your diligence in working with her to get this off the ground and promoting it. And I think it's great that a resident took it upon themselves due to the need in their family, but it also benefits the whole community. And now if it becomes a model for the state and the state adopts it, I think that's wonderful.
It's very neat.
Yeah. So this is what we talk about when we talk about public and private partnerships. So this is just, it came to life. So
Thanks,
Great.
Thank you.
yep.
Thank you, DC.
Also during the meeting that the commission has been talking about coming up with and investigating some kind of scheduling software that would really take the burden off the sergeants who are constantly having to call people to see, when they can come in and to assign them. The other thing they're looking at, because it's coming, the in-car cameras are coming to the end of their life, and they're now looking at cameras for the cars, and what they really want to do is find one that would also, the camera that would also have a license plate reader, so that they're working on that. And then the generator was the other big topic, and of course, we've already discussed that, so thank you.
Okay, anything else? Okay. On to item D, Fire Commission.
So I was unable to make the last meeting. Obviously, Commissioner Prunier resigned. He was, as some of you had alluded, he was a real asset to that commission, and which isn't always the easiest thing to kind of keep tabs on the financial spendings for the fire department, but yet still keep everybody happy within the fire department. And he managed to do that for quite some time. And it's definitely a significant loss. So I wish him best with his family and hope he has more time to spend with his family. And there is a search on currently to try to find a replacement.
Thank you. Okay, item E, Planning and Zoning.
They met on the 7th. One of the items they were looking at, they're still discussing, is a zone change for 730 Forest Road. It's R40. They're looking, the owner's looking to change it to B1. And that there was a lot of discussion on that, quite a bit of discussion. And it was focusing around the issue they were having is, well, whatever his intent is one thing, but once you change it to B1, it could be whatever falls in that category within the regulations. So that's what they're battling over. So that's going to continue on to the next meeting on what they want to do there. That's the piece of property that's on the corner of Totucket and 22 on Forest Road. For
The old VFW?
Yeah, by the river. The 824 tax deferral program that passed, that we pushed to them. Multifamily housing district, that they tabled that till a future meeting. And they will have a hearing on October 19th for cannabis, whether to extend the moratorium or whatever. So that's about it.
Okay.
I think the next meeting actually is Thursday, so we got an envelope in that on the counter.
All right, 921. Okay, and then Finance Subcommittee, anyone?
There's a few items on our agenda tonight, the biggest one being ARPA, which we've already discussed. And then there's a few under new business, and our next meeting will be on October 10th.
Okay, thank you. On item G, Public Safety Communications Subcommittee.
Okay, I have a report from the chief on that. The groundwork, the underground work, the electrical and the wiring has been done at Tilcon. So now they're mounting the hardware on the top of the tower so that the town can then put its antennas on there. In terms of the Homeland Tower, Verizon has agreed to let the aerial work be done, even though they haven't started doing their groundwork there yet. And they're anticipating that work will start Thursday. In terms of the subscriber units, Public Works is supposed to begin soon. I guess the pieces are going to be delivered soon, and that should start around November. Fire Department, the units are in progress of being set up, and I guess it's about 75% complete in terms of their units. The overall anticipated completion now of this project is December 31st. There is going to be a meeting of the committee next week to get an update.
So it's powerized then?
Yeah.
It's live?
It's
online?
it's getting there, and we will be having a meeting next Tuesday.
Thank you. Okay, I know there's lots of people that are inquiring about when that will be online, so.
I know, I got a call today from somebody. How come I lose your call every time?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Okay, then CIWWA.
That's supposed to meet next Wednesday on the 27th. I'm told that might not happen, so I don't know.
Okay. Item 8, Town Manager's Report. Item A, General Updates. Mr. Downs.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Town Council. As council's aware, we had 2 recent power outage events which had an impact on the police department. The first was Sunday, September 10th. There were 2 storm-related power outages in our UI service area, which at one point had a little over 2,000 NB residents without power between 3 and 4 hours. The police department was in the impacted service area and went on generator power, and the generator then suffered a critical failure. This led Deputy Chief Lovelace to make the quick decision to get a rental generator to ensure their critical functions remained up and running. That temporary generator remains on site and And then we had another power loss on Forest Road Sunday evening, September 17th, due to a vehicle collision with a utility pole. And this event put about 86 customers out of power, including the police department once again, forcing it to generator backup. So our police and public works leadership and personnel were quick thinking and resourceful during these incidents. And the concern about generator power is, of course, what's prompting this item before you tonight on the agenda. September 15th was POW MIA Recognition Day, and last week I was approached by a local veteran, Bill Savastano, about possibly doing something to recognize North Branford's lone MIA casualty. I'm pleased to say we quickly put together a little event last Friday morning at the North Branford POW MIA Monument to remember Sergeant First Class James Edward Creamer, who went MIA on April 21st, 1968 during the Vietnam War. Gathering that morning were Town Councilors Rose Angeloni and Nick Palladino, Mayor Jeff McMillan, Army Sergeant First Class Tomas Gomez, veterans Andy McMillan, Bill Savastano, and Chuck Larkins, and I attended as well. And we also flew the POW MIA flag here at Town Hall. Andy McMillan, the mayor's father, was close friends with Sergeant First Class Creamer, and they both enlisted in the Army together during the Vietnam conflict. Last Thursday evening, I was pleased to join Mayor McMillan, Assistant Town Manager Rory Burke, and local business leaders from across the region at the Shoreline Chambers Business After Hours event held at Stewards of the Land Brewery and sponsored by Guilford Savings Bank. It was an excellent event, bringing local leaders together and showcasing the great facility and products we have at Stewards of the Land. Back in May of 2022, the council authorized the expenditure of $140,000 from ARPA funds for a portion of a regional partnership and a tactical mobile command unit. The council has in their folders this evening communication from Deputy Chief Jim Lovelace, informing us that he was able to negotiate a lower share for us with our partners based on several factors, including the fact that the unit will be housed here in North Branford. North Branford's share has been reduced to $120,000, saving us $20,000 in ARPA funds. Our thanks go to DC Lovelace for his work in making that happen. It was a pleasure to be on hand to welcome Partyville to North Branford with a ribbon cutting in celebration of their opening on September 7th, along with the Shoreline Chamber of Commerce. Located at 999 Foxton Road in the Twin Lakes Commons Plaza, Partyville is a great new local place to host kids' parties and events with a large variety of activities for kids 3 to 14. Staff-assisted crafts are created in one of their spacious, colorful rooms. Each room has a chalk wall for expression and fun, and goodie bags can be filled from their numerous dispensers. Joining us in welcome, the owners Tina and Kate Evans were Mayor Jeff McMillan, Assistant Town Manager Rory Burke, Economic Development Commission member Scott Small, Shoreline Chamber Executive Director Dee Jacob, and Shoreline President James Fennell. You can check them out at partyvillellc.com or 203-208-4261. The annual Lake Gallard Walkathon will take place Sunday, October 1st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The 6.8-mile walk run around Lake Gallard is hosted by the RWA and the North Branford Women's Club as a fundraiser. You can start walking anytime between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. All walkers must be off the trail by 1 p.m. A shuttle bus will bring walkers to the gate at Beach Street from the Atwater Library parking lot, as there is no parking at Lake Gallard. No bikes or pets allowed. To register for more information, call the Women's Club 321-474-2074. And I really do recommend, if anybody has not had a chance to go up there, it's a limited opportunity to get to be able to see some of the area up there. It's pretty amazing if you haven't been there before. The North Branford Libraries are hosting a program on understanding and responding to dementia-related behavior on Thursday, September 28th, 10:30 a.m. at the Edward Smith Library. The program is presented by the Connecticut Chapter of Alzheimer's Association. And Park and Rec has 2 Halloween events coming up. Trunk or Treat. They're gearing up to put on their annual event for kids, and it takes place at Stanley T. Williams Community Center from 2 o'clock to 3:30, Saturday, October 14th, rain or shine. And also on October 14th, the Park and Rec, in partnership with North Branford Libraries, is hosting their Haunted Cinema Drive-In at 7 o'clock p.m. Tutucket Valley Park, 290 Forest Road. $20 per car, pre-registration, and $25 at the door. And lastly, North Branford Rotary will be holding a shredding event here on Town Hall grounds, Saturday, September 30th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., where residents can get rid of old documents with safe, secure on-premise shredding. Cost is $10 per banker's box. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Okay, item B, Permanent Project Building Committee.
Thank you. The Police Department EOC project steelwork is continuing, and the project remains on schedule, and we're getting ready to pour the second floor slab this week and apparently sign a piece of plastic to get my signatures permanently memorialized on it. North Branford Intermediate School, the brick repointing continues with only quiet work being done while the school is in session. North Branford High School, the work continues on the punch list. The footings and foundation for the Phase 2 portion of the project have been set, and the drainage is being worked on, and steel will be set beginning this week and into October. Stanley T. Williams Community Center, the work on the roof was completed, the warranty is issued, and work on the punch list continues with the project completion expected September 30th. That concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. All right, and item 9, citizen statements, petitions, and correspondence. Do we have any? Seeing none, we'll move on. On to item 11, unfinished business discussion and action. There's none. On to item 12, we've already completed item A in the new business discussion and action portion. We'll move on to item B, dirt bike ATV regional task force. Michael?
Yes, so as noted in your packets this evening, Chief Halloran and I participated in a Zoom call on September 1st with Mayor Justin Elicker of New Haven, including numerous regional municipal CEOs and chiefs of police, meant to address the problem of road takeovers by swarms of ATVs and dirt bikes. The outcropping of this meeting was the memorandum of understanding between signatory municipalities, creating a joint regional task force which would meet regularly, share intelligence, and undertake joint operations. While the goals of this effort are admirable, both Chief Halloran and I have reservations about signing onto this agreement relative to resources and jurisdiction. I asked Chief Halloran to enumerate the concerns he has regarding this from a law enforcement standpoint, and he did so, resulting in the letter you have tonight in your packet. In summation, we're concerned about the requisite dedication of an officer to weekly briefings, officers operating outside the jurisdiction conducting enforcement actions on warrantless misdemeanor arrests, which does not appear to be supported by state law, and our town attorney has reviewed as well as and found that concern to be sound. The council has the authority to enter into this agreement, but both Chief Halloran and I do not recommend we do so at this time.
Okay. Would be my understanding if our chief and our town manager do not recommend us to enter this agreement, it likely would be a good decision not to do so until further reason for to do so. Does everyone agree with that?
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, then we're gonna move
Not
on.
without a distinguished MOU with all the agencies involved, which those are possible. We do one with Capital Region, Vehicle Auto Theft Task Force, but again, it was a comprehensive MOU. Here's what the rules are. Here's what you can do. Here's how we do our pursuit policy. There's a lot more that goes into it than probably was explained in that Zoom. So from a town council and professional background on this, I would not be in favor of voting for it without having all that spelled out and the chief of police on board with it.
All right. And one other thing I would add, if I could, is that, one thing to keep in mind is, when we're on that Zoom talking about it, Mayor Elicker was talking about their local ordinances that they've reenacted and how stringent they are, and was recommending that many of these municipalities sign on to similar ones, which they have not. But ours is almost identical to what New Haven has in terms of its fee and penalty structure. Mm-hmm. So we're already there on that.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Officer Lovelace, do we in town, not that you have to disclose anything, do we in town actually have a policy that we kind of handle our own in say our own little task force? Do we have a?
We have MOUs with surrounding towns for various means. We also have emergency MOUs, which would be considered for New Haven or New Haven County municipalities, actually 26 different municipalities. Our view, after careful consideration, is this would be a non-emergency type MOU, which we do not have currently with New Haven, and that's where the liability, I think, is great, not just for our department, but for the town in general. So, and that was part of the consideration amongst other factors.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Item C, property tax assessment deferral, 824, referral to Planning and Zoning Commission.
Yes, so Assistant Town Manager Rory Burke and our tax assessor Dave Ambrose are unable to be here tonight. But the proposed reauthorization of the property tax deferral program is back on your agenda this evening. As you'll recall, the council conducted the required public hearing under CGS section 12-65D on September 5th and referred to Planning and Zoning. They've completed their 824 review at their meeting on September 7th, and a memo conveying their favorable review back to you is in your packets. This item is available for action tonight The only difference in the resolution before you this evening and the one that was approved back in 2016 is the removal of the sunset provision. So in other words, if the council passes this tonight, it would not expire until the council took subsequent action to end it. If the council chooses, they can install a sunset provision back this evening if they want it. To recap, this resolution establishes a rehabilitation area, which is legally required under state statute to enact the assessment deferral and accept applications. It's a tool we have been employing since 2016 to attract, retain, and expand North Branford's business base and increase employment opportunity. This freezes tax assessment for a development project, and upon completion, any increase in tax revenue is deferred, and the value of the increase is phased in over 5 years at 20% per year. The revenue is not recouped from the phase-in period. Rather, the idea is that the economic development spurred by the program will produce a longer-term benefit by allowing incentivizing developments in town that might otherwise not even take place. Additionally, this resolution sets the criteria and the process by which an application for the deferment can be made, and the town council will receive and approve each application.
Thank you. Any discussion on this? Otherwise?
So I'd like to make a motion that the Town Council of North Branford designate the town of North Branford as a rehabilitation area and establish the criteria of real property for assessment deferral and administrative procedures as presented.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilor Angeloni. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Abelson. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? That passes. Thank you very much. Item D, proposed revisions to the tax department operations policy. Jerry, you're on the hot seat, please.
Yes. I know we went over this last week with you. I was looking to actually update the tax policy so that collection process. So the delinquencies go out in August and in February on any motor vehicles, real estate, or personal property. Right now, they just go out in February. And the problem with that is that you have 3% interest in August. You wait till February, it's 12%, plus 3% on the second half. So it's more like a reminder for a lot of people to send it out sooner, better collection rate, and do it that way. I think I'll also put in to report it to the Department of Motor Vehicle in August and in February, not just in February. So if people need to register, they have to pay their taxes first. The other one was to send out, instead of going to a marshal and then to a collection agency, to just go to a collection agency. Because the marshal, you send it out for 2 months, then after that, it comes back to us, it goes to a collection, and some people find it and then send it to the marshal, they send it back to us, we have to send it back to the person. So if everything just goes to collection, they always have it. And they're the ones who will collect it for us, which is a 15% fee to the taxpayer. I think in the packet, it said to remove that. I think, what else did I have on here? So it would be to report them to collection in May, every year. And that would be for motor vehicle and personal property, not for real estate.
Is this usually the policy for most towns?
Yes.
So
I did a little research too. There is 2 towns, I should say cities, nearby, that as a courtesy send out 2 bills for motor vehicles. And they actually send it August and in February to DMV and send out delinquent notices. So they have them both times. Some towns are just once.
So it's kind of streamlining our policy, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
The Finance Subcommittee reviewed this with Jerry at our last meeting and thought it made sense to kind of follow these controls, make it easier to, for everyone, even you discuss the scenario where they find the bill and then they pay the wrong entity and then it has to come back to the town and it has to go back to the taxpayer, then back to the town again. It's a lot of back and forth,
Kind of
so
goes
this
back and
streamlines that process.
Plus, they would be paying less interest also.
Correct.
That's the big
And that's,
thing.
I was gonna say, the next thing is there's gonna be less interest, there's a likelihood that they'll pay this earlier so that they're not paying the extended interest on it. Personally, I'm one that does not believe in car tax, but I will say if it's going to be a necessity in the state, that we can make it as easy as possible and as transparent as possible for citizens. So that's.
Is it necessary to send it out the very next month? I mean, you hear about things being sent to collections. I'm putting myself in the citizen's shoes here. So do we want to, do we want to at least give them a month to, in case they misplaced a bill, they forgot about it or whatever else like that, and maybe not just bang them right away with a collection agency because they're.
Well, the collection agency wouldn't be till the following May.
So how many months afterwards?
The bill goes out, is due in July for, I'm gonna say each half.
Right.
Okay? And they have till August 1st to pay without penalty. Then in August, we would send out a delinquent notice, which is really more like a statement of account. For a lot of people, it's more of a reminder.
Okay.
Some people will sell their property. New owner doesn't even know it's due.
Right.
That can happen. Then they have the second half, which is due in February 1st, by February 1st. So in February, you send out another delinquent notice and a demand notice. It doesn't go to collection until May.
Okay, so they have months to, make it
They
right.
have
Okay.
almost a whole year
Okay.
before, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that it comes due and then it's sent the next.
Oh, yeah, collection won't
Yeah,
go
that's a
until
little
the following
confusing.
year.
No, it sounded like it was, if you don't pay by August 1st, we're sending you to collections
No.
in August, you know what I mean? It's like.
This year that just went out won't go to collection until May of 2024.
Okay.
Correct.
So if we kept the marshal, to citizen pay for the marshal?
Yes.
Fee?
Yes.
So if it went out to collections and to the marshal,
It goes to marshal first and then to collection.
so there's a marshal's fee?
Yes.
There's a marshal's fee and there's a collection fee. The marshal's fee, say the bill is $60 they owe and it went to the marshal. There's at least a $60 fee from the marshal, so you're doubling up. And then say they pay them, that's fine.
Then
But
there's
if they
interest.
don't and it goes to collection, it's a 15%.
Then they still have to pay the marshal.
They still have, no, say the
long as they
marshal's already
collect.
set. If it comes back to us, then it goes to collection and they don't do anything with the marshal.
Marshall gets paid if they collect.
Right, so
We
it's
pay-
on the marshal to go out and,
The
Knock on
marshal
the-
only sends a letter.
they can't go knock on the door?
They don't go knock on the door unless we tell them to. I was told. So, they don't
You don't do that.
They don't
So
go
then-
out there, so
Then why have the
collection.
marshal?
Right, and that's what this is.
So really,
purpose
you're
of this,
paying,
yes.
the taxpayer's paying less for a collection
Correct.
agency than they are for the marshal.
It's streamlining the process.
Right, okay.
So by extending the time that it's gonna go to collection, how does that, I don't see how that speeds up collection.
Well, it's not really extending the time because the marshal used to get it in May and get it back to us for like July 1st. So there was 2 months that it always went to somebody.
Okay,
So instead of it going to the marshal, it'll just go straight to collection.
okay.
So it's, I think it speeds up collection if they send the notice in August, like they
August.
don't now.
Oh, I see.
It'll be a reminder so people would pay it sooner
So how long-
and not have as much interest.
Gotcha.
And by having the DMV involved also, so if someone's got a registration that's due in September or October, and they missed the July payment, they can't register the car, so that brings them in to pay their bill. So that's what's causing expedited, hopefully an increase.
So we don't have that in place now, the DMV part?
Not until currently after the
February.
second payment. We wait till
Okay.
February, the demand goes
Okay.
delinquent, then demand, and then all
Okay.
that stuff. What Jerry is suggesting is do it at the first payment as well. So after the first payment is missed in July, in August, you send them a delinquent, and by the way, now you're on the DMV naughty list.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
can't register a car
Alright, thanks.
until you solve the
Until
DMV
you-
naughty list. So that's why the hope is that it'll expedite and increase the collection rate.
Okay, thank you.
Are there a lot of residents out there?
Oh, yeah. Thousands.
Motor vehicle, yeah.
Okay.
As I said many times, it's the 80-20 rule. You spend 80% of the time on 20% of the dollars. It's ridiculous. And people move, everything else. The amount of address returns that we get stacks. Between October when they had the car and they moved subsequently, the return mail, unbelievable. And then you gotta track it down and you find different sources to find the correct address. It's 80% of the time on 20% of the dollars. It's nuts.
So one of your concerns expressed at the finance subcommittee was because you have the school help you mail these out, but
Yeah.
in August you wouldn't have them because they're not in session. Do you see that as an issue or not?
Well, that's where I did get a quote for about 3,300, which would be motor vehicle, personal property, and real estate that was delinquent in August. That was all of them together. Most of it, of course, is motor vehicle. It's like 2,500 is motor vehicle, 2,500. So that was about just around $1,000 to have the automated mailing company send it out, if need be. We can always do real estate and personal property, because there's usually not as many of those, so it'll drop down that cost too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty fair.
So it really depends. I mean, once they get it ready and so forth, and we can get it printed. We can either get it printed, they can print it, but that was with them printing it.
Okay.
And mailing it.
Okay.
So the whole amount of the automotive taxes total is 3,300?
No, motor vehicle was around 2,500 in August. The rest of it was personal property and real estate.
Interesting, thank you.
Yeah, the real estate is, just so you have an idea, if it's like 3,500 that they owe for first half, you're talking 3%. When it comes to February, 12% plus 3% on the second half. So you're talking around $700, $800 in interest. That cannot be waived. So, trying to collect it a little bit more.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got it.
Got it.
Okay, we'll accept a motion for this.
All right, I'd like to make a motion, be it hereby resolved that the North Branford Town Council adopts the attached tax collection process for the operations of the tax office pursuant to the favorable recommendations from the Finance Subcommittee.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Angeloni, second by Counselor Diamond. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained? Thank you. All right, on to item E, police admin charges related to POCO police use.
Yes, this was discussed previously, that the desire to, as you know, when we have extra duty billing, there's an administrative charge which represents our cost that the town incurs for pension, Social Security, and workers' comp. And there was a desire previously to take those funds for the Potato Festival and fund those with money from the Police Extra Duty Fund. And I did research, and last year was indeed not transferred.
I didn't think so.
So the motion before you is to transfer $13,222.59 for last year's administrative charges and $12,159.71 for this year's administrative charges out of the Extra Duty Fund to Potato Festival Fund.
All right, do a motion.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion, be it hereby resolved that the North Branford Town Council instructs the Treasurer Finance Director to transfer $13,222.59 from the Police Extra Duty Fund to the Potato Festival Fund for the administrative piece of the 2022 Potato Festival Extra Duty invoices, and $12,159.71 from the Police Extra Duty Fund to the Potato Festival Fund for the administrative piece of the 2023 Potato Festival Extra Duty invoices.
Second.
All right. All right, we have a motion by Counselor Angeloni, second by Counselor Palladino. Any discussion?
Yes, I just have a clarification. So Anthony, the council voted not only for the Potato Fest, but there's other
Correct.
functions that this also applies to.
Correct.
Like the tree lighting, the Memorial Day Parade. So are there any invoices from that we haven't cleared up either?
That's an excellent point. I will check.
Okay.
I will check.
And is this just this total amount is 25,000 plus?
Correct.
Is that just a reimbursement back to the Potato Fest because they already paid for it?
That's correct. They've been charged already on the books. This will take the money out of the extra duty fund and reimburse that potato festival fund.
Okay.
Correct. All right, any other discussion?
Yeah, so with that, this fund, so going forward, what do we put in place so that we don't miss things like this?
This was a munis possibly?
No.
Well, the reason why I asked that is just like,
Yeah, no, Rose has a valid point.
Counselor Angeloni asked,
This is the
about
first-
any other invoices,
No,
so.
no doubt. This is the first year of that policy was enacted. So I will verify that the other ones were properly accounted for. I think it was more so much not the ones that are self-sustaining or other means of funding it, but I'll research
Well,
those.
it was the tree lighting,
Tree
the
light.
Memorial Day parade,
Right.
the graduation from the school.
Right.
In the funding of that, and
If I had to bet, I bet we didn't do it, to be honest with you.
well, that's my guess too. And
Right.
I know it came before the council and there
Right.
were like 6 events that we authorized that they would not be, or if they're charged, it's going to be, it has to go through this procedure where Anthony has to bring it before the council to say, yes, there is enough money in the police extra duty so that you can pay this on there.
Yep.
And that's what didn't happen for last year's
scrub
POCO.
Right,
And then,
so can we find that listed somehow?
Yes. I certainly will. Yeah, like I said, I'm willing to bet you that we did not do that, but I will pull the list of the exact items that the council blessed, and I'll make sure that I'll come back with a number for you.
okay,
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
just one question. The money came out of the POCO fund?
Yes, the
Well,
police
they
officer.
paid-
We're reimbursing the POCO fund?
Right,
Correct.
because they paid it,
Right.
because they were
But
invoiced.
did the POCO fund pay for the tree lighting, the Memorial Day?
No,
That's
no.
separate animal.
Separate.
Those are
We're not
separate.
talking about.
She's just saying that the funding for the admin piece on those events
We're also.
will be borne by the
Same
fund,
jurisdiction.
extra duty fund.
Oh.
Not related, the only, POCO just is POCO.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, thank you. On to item F, CIP 2023, 2024 through 2031, 2032.
The capital plan you have before you, multiple pages. The second page in, aside from my first memo, talks about the budget you adopted back in April. You see the capital improvements, you funded $222,000 roughly from the tax base, $652,000 of fund balance. That flows into the third page in, which is the layout that you typically have seen historically, 222, and you see the A and the B. The changes are the fourth page in. You'll see with the ones with the bars going across. And the changes, the first one, the top 2 lines, is basically it's cost neutral. Victor Benny, the town engineer, as he does the road program with Public Works, might identify, okay, maybe I had additional money I need in chip seal that I don't have in road road construction. So he moves the money around. In total, the money hasn't changed. It's just a matter of the allocation between the lines in there. The bottom one, the senior van at Recreation, is something that's been kicked around and talked about for many years. It's finally coming to fruition. The van is on the verge of being delivered. The new cost of the van is $123,000, of
Yeah,
which
it doubled.
it doubled.
Because
It
it took
was
so
crazy.
long. Yeah.
Of which 110 of it is being funded by a grant, and our portion is $13,000. You may recall earlier, as we got to the year end, there was a transfer made from the recreation budget of $13,000 for this purpose already. So you've already funded that other funding piece. This just marries the CIP with it. Aside from that page, quite honestly, the rest of the CIP is mainly just a planning tool. Nothing is locked in stone, nothing is concrete. It just gives you a rough idea of some of the projects that have been identified. We really need to embrace the CIP a little more, with more love going forward, because it really could be a long-term planning tool that sometimes we don't think out 2 and 3 years or 4 years down the road. We kind of fly by the seat of our pants sometimes. So the process is basically you're voting tonight to kick it out to planning and zoning for an 824 referral. They will act on it, send it back to you folks. It'll be at a subsequent meeting where you bless it and put it to bed. So the motion tonight basically is just to kick it out to planning and zoning.
So I'd like to make a motion to send the CIP for 2023-24 through 2031-32 to planning and zoning for an 824 referral.
Motion by Counselor Angeloni, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Counselor Palladino. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained, okay, thank you. On to item G, financial report 8/31/23.
Financial report you have before you for the month of August, again, very early in the year. You'll notice the layout is totally different than you've seen historically in the past, and this mirrors the new chart of accounts that Anita worked on so feverishly to get us in line with the state of Connecticut and the uniform chart of accounts. So the categories you see are a different lineup. They're still basically the same categories, just spelled out differently on the top for the revenue section. In total, we've got 44.1% of current year revenue compared to 42.8% last year, which is a good thing. The bottom side of the page, the expenditure side of the house, we're 19.2% expended versus 19.3% last year. So good news on both fronts. Obviously, no departments are overexpended yet. Again, it's very early in the year. There's nothing really to report.
Okay.
Any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay. Do we need a motion on that?
Negative.
And there's basically, okay. So item H, appropriation transfer.
You have three transfers before you relating to the last fiscal year. Again, there's several departments I'm waiting for transfers from to wrap this up. The middle transfer in there, the large one, is actually an error that I made on a prior transfer. We transferred it into the part-time manager's wage account, which doesn't really exist. It's more of the full-time wage account. That was the delta caused by Rory coming on board and stuff. So the larger transfer there, the $12,775, is taking it from the manager's part-time to the manager's full-time account, which is where it belongs. The other two are just minor. As final bills come in for each department, the account might go over a couple dollars here and there, so we're going to clean those up.
Make a motion to approve the appropriation transfers.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Angeloni, seconded by Counselor Diamond. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay, thank you. Item I, tax refunds.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Angeloni, seconded by Counselor Diamond. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, thank you. Item J, set date for the next ARPA meeting, ARPA workshop. So we talked about timing on that. We have a little bit of a discretion. How much time do we need?
I mentioned to you that there's a police commission meeting that night, if we could make it 6:30 instead of 6.
I mean, do we want to do a half hour, or do we want to push our regularly scheduled meeting to 7:30? Can we do that?
Well, this isn't a council.
Oh, no, right, it's not, it's on a separate
in between.
time, right, it's in between, so we can do that, we can do it, 6:30.
Yeah, I mean, it just so happens that the holiday's the day before, so
Right.
police
Yeah.
commission's on that Tuesday.
Yeah.
Normally, it's not.
Yeah,
So that's,
yeah, I
I think 6:30
think 6:30 is fine.
would be fine for that.
Okay, that's fine with me, everyone else work for 6:30? What's the date again?
October 10th,
10/10.
it's the second Tuesday.
Put that in here.
So I'd like to make a motion that the town council set the date for the next ARPA workshop for Tuesday, October 10th at 6:30 PM in the town council chambers at Town Hall.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Angeloni, seconded by Counselor Diamond. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained? All right, thank you. We'll have our next ARPA workshop on 10/10 at 6:30. Okay, we'll find a subcommittee that day as well, right?
Yeah, so we just have to
We'll just
decide
push
if,
that.
well, if we meet,
Yeah, we
if we
just-
need to have it, we meet at 5:30 instead.
That's what we have now, is 5:30, so
Right.
5:30 to 6:30, that's fine, if we had to keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's good. Make sure we have it in here. Okay.
So does this just stay in the bucket?
That goes back into the ARPA, yeah.
Okay, good. All right, on item K, authorization of bid specification for portable generator.
So I'd like to make a motion that the North Branford Town Council hereby authorizes the town's purchasing agent to produce a bid specification and go out to bid for a portable generator for use as an emergency generator for town departments, including but not limited to the police department, public works, town hall, intermediate school, communication tower at Tilcon, and town events at Augur Park.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Liliani, seconded by Counselor Diamond. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained? All right, thank you. Item 13, citizen statements and petitions. Do we have any? Anthony, anything online?
Negative.
Okay. All right, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
I have a question before you adjourn. We got these two items in the package. Are we dealing with these tonight? One for,
Informational purposes possible.
I don't know if we were supposed to act on these tonight. One for Lotaraca and one for Van Alder.
Yeah, we're putting that one on hold for now then.
Both on hold. We didn't have vans on. We'll put them both on the next one.
Okay.
Okay?
It's just a
Resignation, we have to put it on. Okay, entertain a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Zoni, seconded. Second?
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Mace. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained? We're adjourned 8:21.
Yeah, yeah.